Hello everyone, I'm Tracy and thank you for tuning in today. So I have a really quick report that I want to share right away. This video came out, it's been almost a week. Let me make sure. So, no, this was actually 4 days ago. So I did a video about a month ago talking about the assistant chief, or retired assistant chief Clyde Holokai, about when he came forward and spoke up against the protocols that were not taken on August 8th during the fire. Now, in the video, I'll play a little bit. I commended him for coming forward, explained how it was that's a very difficult thing to do. And I also gave a little encouragement for more people to come forward because of the support and, the fact that so many people are on this side trying to get to the truth. His name is William Hankins. He also retired around the same time that Clyde did in response to the hostile work environment that was created by at the time, new Chief of Police, John Pelletier. So this video that they did, I'm gonna show it right here.
New this morning, 2 former members of Maui Police Department's leadership staff are speaking out in support of officers on August 8th, but they're critical of Emergency Operations Center and the absence of MPD's top cop in the EOC. KITV4's Jeremy Lee has more.
Clyde Holokai is a retired assistant chief with MPD. Lieutenant William Hankins, a former MPD traffic division commander. As the two watch officers' body-worn camera footage from August 8th, they noticed this.
Already trying to save lives.
They save lives. Nothing against those officers, but where's their quarterback? Where's the one with the bird's eye view to look and say, oh, we're directing people in circles. Maybe we should go this way.
4 p.m. August 8th, MPD officers decide to funnel traffic into the Lahaina Gateway Mall, a high-risk evacuation move as there's no exit on the other side. Only the one way in and out. At the same time, a half a block down, this is Honoapiilani Highway, northbound out of Lahaina. Video shows it empty from 2:55 p.m. when the fire starts for at least 2.5 hours. Several lanes not utilized.
Roads inaccessible due to power lines, and that's what we're trained is any down line is considered an energized line. Had the Emergency Operations Center been there and MECO and all of the powers that be in the same room, they could have immediately told those officers that those lines are de-energized and then they could start improvising.
All this video shot before 4:30 p.m., the time the Emergency Operations Center went into full activation, according to the county.
So we had MPD command personnel in the OC since a little bit after 4 o'clock that morning.
Chief John Pelletier refuses to be interviewed for this investigation on road closures, but I sent in this question via a colleague. Were you in the EOC on August 8th?
The appropriate operational commander for the incident is and was an assistant chief, and that's appropriate because if you're doing that job, you can't do your other job. And so we had the right people there.
2018 fire. Chief Faumu was one of the first ones in the EOC. Usually, up until now, it's always been the office of the chief that's mandated.
So you're talking about for the police department, the chief himself has been in the EOC?
Correct. It's been the chief, the deputy chief, and a senior assistant chief. The reason behind that is when decisions have to be made, you need somebody with the rank that commands across the bureaus of the department immediately.
Hankins and Holokai both agree that transparency in what went wrong is key.
Hey, slow down, this car right here.
If the EOC was up and operational and running the way it probably should have been that day, the lines of communication would have worked a lot better. And the guys on the ground out there that day, they wouldn't have been left alone to fend for themselves like it shows they did.
Oh, get in the...
Jeremy Lee, KITV4 Island News.
Basically, they are coming out and they do commend the officers that were trying to rescue people and said they for sure did save people from the fire. But the problem they see is that these officers were on their own. There was no, from what they can tell, there was no support, people in the command center that had a bird's eye view that were able to see the situation from a bigger perspective. So they didn't understand exactly what was happening. They couldn't have. So I wanted to point out that someone else has come forward and give him a lot of credit. So thank you, Retired Sergeant William Hankins, also for Clyde Holokai for coming forward again. I think this is his third appearance on my channel. So anyways, Clyde, if you're watching, please leave a comment and say hello. Say hello to everyone. I would love it if you did that. Same with William, if you want to send us some love and give us a response in the comments, that would be great. But I really did want to point this out because I want to shine a light on those who are coming forward, and I hope that will encourage more people to come forward and get closer to the truth. So something I wanted to discuss a little, and this is just my opinion, but it seems like some of you guys like hearing my opinion on what actually was happening in the command center. There are some problems with some of these statements. They don't really line up. So, and this is confirmed that Chief Pelletier was not in the Emergency Command Center, the EOC, at the time of the fire, which is very odd. And you heard Clyde Holokai say that. The previous chief, who was the chief in 2018, when there was a fire in Lahaina, he was one of the first people there. And that is standard operating procedure. The chief and the assistant chief are generally in the command center. They're one of the most important people to be there because they have a ranking that allows them to command others in different departments. So they are one of the most important people that need to report there. So he was not there. I don't know where he was. And it wasn't like, oops, he got stuck in traffic or something. Or, I guess that could have been the case. I'm sure he wouldn't have been stopped in traffic. They would have done whatever it took to get him to the command center. But I don't know where he was. And it seems like the heads of the different departments were also absent, including the governor, who he lives on Oahu, but he wasn't in the state. Also, Brad Ventura, the fire chief, was out of state. Herman Andaya, who was in charge of emergency management, was on Oahu at a FEMA conference. Mayor Bisson, he said he was not there, but he's been very elusive when he's asked who was in charge and where were you.
The question is, who was calling the shots? Who was in charge of Maui Emergency Management Agency that day?
Mayor.
Why? Matt?
That's right. I'm not sure who was in charge. I think Herman Andaya was still in charge. He just wasn't present. He was in contact with his team, I guess by phone. I don't know exactly how. But he was still the emergency manager for us then.
Where were
So I don't know. I was sitting there in the room.
EOC.
Yeah, we started with a FaceTime or a Zoom call. I guess a Zoom call. Okay, okay. Blue Jeans. We were on our screen and we were in communication with the Honolulu folks that were being briefed on what was happening. But I don't know what the chain of command was between that. So.
What time are you referring to? What time of day are you referring to?
The morning. Yeah, I don't know what hour it was. It was the morning.
On Tuesday morning?
It was Tuesday morning because we were battling the cooler fire. The cooler fire started just around midnight. So the EOC was stood up.
And if you can, I'm sorry, I'm a little new to this. If you can just take us through the TikTok of Tuesday. Like, when did you?
Yeah, I don't have all of that for you. Yeah, I don't have all of that for you.
So that is very odd. I think the mayor was around. I just don't think anyone told him how bad the fire was, because he's on camera about 6 saying that roads going in and out of Lahaina are fine. And that was right after people were jumping into the water because they couldn't get out with their cars. So that situation in itself is very, very suspicious. It's just too much of a coincidence for all of those heads of department to be absent. And so I wanted to point that out to you guys. And yeah, that's really the main thing I wanted to talk about. So again, thank you, William Hankins and Clyde Holokai, for speaking up again and getting us a little bit closer to the truth. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye.